I honestly feel bad for Jason Aaron. The culmination of the Thor story he's been planning for years has been ruined. He's not my cup of tea, but he's perfectly capable of telling this on a much smaller scale. So I'm not going to treat War of the Realms like a serious comic book anymore. The first issue was passable, but this is quickly turning into a disaster. Marvel, Diamond, and any direct retailer that supported this event for incentive covers have all taken giant financial haircuts at this point. I can't imagine the amount of pallets sitting at Diamond that will never be ordered by anyone. If you're unaware, I was in the military for just over 20 years and had a pretty successful career. I wasn't a colonel or anything, but I was a senior NCO, so I have a good bit of experience with leadership and managing people. The biggest responsibility of EIC CB Cebulski and executive editor Tom Brevoort is personnel management, meaning placing the best people in the best spots to succeed and develop. Leaders also need to recognize when their people are in need of greater challenge so they can grow professionally. Identifying talents and weaknesses and challenging people appropriately is a delicate balance. The absolute worst thing any leader can do is give someone an opportunity with no chance of success. That's what's happened here. Jason Aaron should be writing the culmination of his Thor series in a Thor event. Aaron is not ready to lead a Marvel-wide event with 30 or more main characters in it. Cebulski and Brevoort set Aaron up to fall flat on his face and embarrass himself in front of the entire industry due to their own incompetence. Age of X-Men is similarly embarrassing for all involved, but at least the event removed all the dead X-weight in the Marvel Universe, allowing Rosenberg to work with a much smaller roster led by Cyclops and Wolverine, revitalizing Uncanny X-Men. What exactly good has come from War of the Realms? People are losing money, fans aren't interested, and Jason Aaron has been exposed as woefully ill-equipped creatively to write an event of this scope. The only thing I can think of is Marvel's first Filipino superhero wave is introduced next week in New Agents of Atlantis. Filipinos have been prevalent in the comic industry for decades, led by Whilce Portacio, the godfather of Philippine comics, the late Tony DeZuniga, Alex Nino, Lam Medina, Dexter Soy, Tim Lim, and Romulo Fajardo, to name a few. Yet it's taken 80 years for Marvel to introduce just one Filipino hero. Guess there's not enough virtue currency available for featuring the great people of the Philippines. Funny enough, Richard C. Meyer, the man incestuous industry insiders would have you believe is an alt-right Nazi, features a Filipino character on his Jawbreakers team. He's not only a member, he's the motherfucking leader. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, SJW Marvel. Anyway, I saw the preview of Wave today, and it looks like she's just going to be a lame political virtue chip rather than cool. Now let's look at the lineup on this comic book. 28 featured characters for Jason Aaron to manage in this story. I wonder how any of this could have gone south. CB Cebulski, searching for the perfect egg roll and killing comic careers since 2017. I've talked enough about Russell Dauterman's art during my issue 1 and 2 reviews. It's pretty good, but doesn't fit the series and its epic scale. Now let's get into the good stuff. Jason Aaron's MCU-style toddler dialogue and humor. The further the series progresses, the more he leans on terrible gags and dialogue, like Freya asking Captain of America if he accepts her mission. Get it? It's funny because she's not from around here, and even though she appears to speak fluent English, she can't say names right. It's really funny. Trust me. Daredevil activates the Rainbow Bridge by double-fisting Heimdall's enormous sword. You're gonna put someone's eye out with that. Watch yourself, Daredevil. So who's overcompensating here? Daredevil, Heimdall, Jason Aaron, or Russell Dauterman? With a sword that big, Daredevil truly is a god among men. Jane Foster leads the defense of the Rainbow Bridge, sporting her straight out of chemo shirt. You would have thought Marvel learned their lesson in cultural appropriation with their hip-hop variants cover. Now, fictional cancer survivors are cashing in on urban culture. Despicable. I wonder if anyone realized just how stupid Cap would look riding a Pegasus while sporting a puffy coat. Thankfully, Spider-Man is here to whine about having a shield while all the other heroes have swords and axes. Why is he still being written like he's a teen character rather than the fully developed adult he is now? This isn't an Aaron thing. This is everyone but Zdarsky and Spencer these days. Time for the funniest gag in the book. Freya tries to sneak She-Hulk into the Dark Elf homeworld by disguising her as a troll. Too funny, Jason Aaron. Good thing the entire world isn't at stake here, or this gag wouldn't suit the tone or scope of the book. Oh, and Punisher says Dark Elves are pointy-eared bastards, all tougher than snake turds. Punisher, you so funny. Daredevil goes full John Madden and gives a play-by-play of events across the realms. He says Midgard is slipping away. Jane Foster responds, "Not if I have anything to say about it." Daredevil can see the future now and says, "You will, Jane Foster. Before this war is through, you will have very much to say." No shit, Sherlock. This entire event is being used to prop her up to save everyone and become the next Valkyrie. If she isn't holding Malekith's castrated balls above her head in victory when the book finishes, I'll be shocked. More first-rate humor at Avengers Mountain. Tony and Shuri have a dwarf helping create new weapons. He's so impressed, he thinks they might have a little dwarf in him. Shuri says, "He doesn't drink, and I'm not vegan." Get on with your bad vegan self, Shuri. Things have gotten so bad on Midgard, land masses are being claimed by the invaders and their earthbound conspirators. Roxxon has stolen Antarctica. You would think they might have eyed a bit more valuable real estate than Ant-frickin-Arctica. Roxxon must really value privacy and ice. The trolls have taken Australia. Apparently they don't know about all the deadly snakes and spiders in the land down under. Have fun with that one, boys. Of course, the only people successfully fending off the invaders are the Wakandans. Why aren't all Marvel superheroes Wakandan? I swear, a Wakandan janitor would be favored over Wolverine in hand-to-hand combat these days, at least 3-1. On the Dark Elves' home planet, they brought artillery-mounted alligators to the battle. The heroes are about to abandon their mission. Suddenly, Freya can feel the Rainbow Bridge has been destroyed. Again. Is her superpower really having an emotional connection to the Bifrost? How the hell does she have so much O-penis anyway? In the end, Cap and his team finally find Thor, and I must admit, this is fucking sick. The entire book sucks, and the only page worth seeing is the last page. This is not how it's done, people. Seeing Thor missing an arm from mowing down frost giants is pretty crazy. His hammer has been chipped down to a nub. He's clearly under mental duress, or as Wolvie calls it, a berserker rage. Still don't get why he wears fishnet stockings, but that's a question for another day. Let's take a minute to appreciate the scale of C.B. Cebulski and Tom Brevoort's mishandling of what should have been a big event in the Thor series. It's crossing into Champions, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Punisher, Uncanny X-Men, as Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, which I personally dropped based off last month's piss-poor Realms-related story, Venom, being written by Cullen Bunn, and Thor. The only book any of this should be taking place in is Thor. Champions, as Guardians of the Galaxy, and Squirrel Girl will probably pick up readers because they're pathetic, but the War of the Realms Association actively hurts every other title, in my opinion. What an absolute fiasco Cebulski has on his hands. C.B. Cebulski, searching for the perfect egg roll and killing Marvel readership since 2017. I honestly feel bad for Jason Aaron. The culmination of the Thor story he's been planning for years has been ruined. He's not my cup of tea, but he's perfectly capable of telling this on a much smaller scale. CB and Brevoort decided to throw him in the deep end of the pool for something he isn't ready for and let him drown in front of the entire industry. I don't work at Marvel, I don't own stock, and I don't have to buy their books. Their business decisions are their own, and it's no skin off my back if they lose money. But the folks at Disney should really be looking at the situation at Marvel Comics. None of their characters but Spidey can even crack the top 10 books shipped any given month. They can't move Iron Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, or any of their breakout MCU characters in any decent volume. This is all because of mismanagement by C.B. Cebulski and his acolytes like Brevoort. I would say Sana Amanat plays a part in it, but I don't think she knows anything about comics or even cares about them. I will be shocked if she has any say when it comes to the actual stories in their books. I mean, they should fire her as well, but the terrible stories and personnel mismanagement are all on CB, in my opinion. Don't buy this book or support any of the tie-ins or miniseries. Every book bought with the War of the Realms logo on it is a vote that you want more tripe like this. And that includes the books you normally buy like Venom and Avengers. We can only affect change with our wallets. They've had years to listen to our voices. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.